Hello everyone and welcome to my first Build Diaries video. In this episode I'm going over the concept and theory of the build I'm currently making, and in future videos I will show the build in action, talk about what worked and what didn't work, and what changes I made over my build's journey. The build I have theory crafted is a rogue build that mainly focuses on the abilities Shift, Shuriken and Acid Flask. This has probably been done before, however this series focuses more on me exploring these build ideas on my own and seeing what the result is. My hopes for these build diary videos is that you, my audience, might learn something new or interesting from these videos and have fun watching me theorize, create and test out these build ideas I came up with. What inspired me to create this build was the unique dagger Smoke Weaver. This dagger has two unique modifiers regarding the shift skill, which gives us the ability to shift more often at the cost of a bit of the distance traveled when shifting. This dagger also has some other great traits, particularly a chance to blight on melee hit and the extra dodge rating. What makes this dagger very appealing to me is the fact that Shift is a very powerful ability. It has skill points which allow us to throw Shuriken at nearby enemies, drop Acid Flask both on departure and arrival, and also grant fantastic defensive perks. And since each use of Shift gives us so much value, the more we shift, the better. We can further push this concept by speccing into the Twin Blades ability of the Rogue, which allows us to dual wield two Smoke Weavers. If we get two Smoke Weavers with the highest possible rolls of the increased cooldown recovery speed modifier and add cooldown recovery speed modifiers on gear as well, we can potentially shift more than twice as often as usual. Keep in mind that a 100% cooldown recovery speed does not mean that the shift has no cooldown, but that it recovers twice as fast. So, that begs the question, what exactly does Shift offer us? One advantage is that Shift grants incredible defensive stats. It has a skill point which allows us to be invulnerable while shifting, a skill point which removes all negative ailments on us, it grants us stats like dodge and movement speed, and, if we have the plus level to shift, can even allow us to automatically use our potions when using Shift below 50% health. Shift alone pushes our defenses to the next level and helps us stay alive reliably and consistently. Another reason why we want to shift as often as possible is the fact that Shift can be used to dish out a lot of damage. It automatically casts both Shuriken and Acid Flask, and Shift itself can also execute enemies when they fall below a certain health threshold. Especially the last advantage here is great, since it gives us a percentage damage and helps us take down endgame bosses a lot quicker. But how exactly do we scale our damage anyway? Well, I've chosen to focus on poison damage, since both Shurikens and Acid Flask's damage can be scaled that way. The damage over time is great against bosses, while still being good for running monoliths. Another great factor here is that we are using two unique daggers. Since unique items can have legendary potential and be turned into extremely powerful legendary items, the theoretical slot value for our main and offense slots is immense. Exalted items, as with all builds, can be used to push this build even further and bring it to the next level. So, in conclusion, the survivability and damage of this build are, on paper, very promising. Since Shift's cooldown is so low and we deal damage while moving, the playstyle of this build is fast and active. Can be scaled greatly through legendary variants of the Smoke Weaver daggers and exalted items, and therefore can be played and pushed quite a lot. Of note here is that the build can be started without the Smoke Weaver daggers, however I recommend farming both of these before going for this build. The last question that now has to be answered is, will this concept hold up in practice? For the answer to this question, you have to watch my next build diary video. The best way to stay up to date on how the build is performing is by subscribing to my channel to be notified when I upload the next video. I'll be uploading the next episode soon, in which I will show off gameplay footage and talk about the state of the build. If I deem the build a success, I'll release a dedicated build guide on it to go over the final version in greater detail. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, or if you didn't, like and dislike accordingly, and, if you want, write in the comments what you would recommend me to improve. All feedback is welcome, especially since I am only at the start of my content creation journey. Besides that, if you have questions, suggestions or anything to say, write it in the comments and let me know. Thank you for watching and have a great day.